And we're live.
We'll do it.
GM.
Hi.
GM.
Hey.
So lots of horrendous news going on in the world, and we are going to talk about none of it. So, yeah, just want to make that very clear up front. We
well
are
said.
Completely aware of the horrendousness in the world, and we're going to pretend it doesn't exist for the next hour.
Because we do Farcaster news.
Because we do Farcaster news. Yeah. And we're just not even going to get into that. But just wanted to make sure that people know, yes, we are aware that the world sucks and all the things are bad. And of course, you can't wait to see Phil. Yeah, very excited.
We don't have Phil on today, guys.
Phil is not on today. It's Jake, and that is a joke. So just to be very clear. So we are going to be covering some Farcaster news, some fun on the timeline, things to make you smile. And then we're going to have Jake on in about 30 minutes to chat about QR. And I'm really excited about that. There's been so many fun things going on with QR. He's done some incredible iterations. So if you're not familiar with QR.fun and you want to learn more, jump in for our Clankcaster Spotlight in about 30 minutes. But before that, we are going to do a little intro. So we'll be back on the other side of this 66 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. This episode of GM Farcaster is powered by Clanker. Each Monday, we'll bring you the latest news from the Clanker team and highlight the builders innovating with Clanker and Farcaster. Visit clanker.world to launch your token and check out all the new features that Clanker V4 has to offer. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, December 15th, and you are here with Adrian and Nanish Prof for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day, plus a chat with Jake, chatting all about QR for our Clankcaster Spotlight. So very excited. Congratulations, Spartan. I just want to shout this out just because I'm seeing this I don't know what this is. I haven't touched it. Like, just, DYOR on this one, but I think that's cool.
Yeah, we have no idea, but
no idea what this is.
We love seeing people launch mini apps, so keep doing it.
Yeah,
everybody should have one.
So congratulations, chess, chaoschess.online. So cool. So if you like chess, go look for it. Very cool. All right, let's, and Mika, I may or may not be cooking something for QR. Okay. All right. Fun things in the chat today.
Permissionlessly, or is that an official partnership? What's going on?
I'm going to guess permissionlessly, but I could be wrong. Just because I could just see Catfax/Mikado just, doing things. All right, let's jump into some fun news. Here we go. 29 seconds of Farcaster. This is from our friend Brad Q. What did you miss this weekend? We should have known. Burt Wurst and Say Angel were up to something with their Weekends Are for Pets quotecasts Saturday. Sunday night, Burt brought back the vibes with petlets, companions for your warplet made of DNA from your two closest friends. This is so fun, and it is my background, and we'll get into more of it in a little bit. MYK did a Farcaster Santa live stream on Saturday, making some wishes from his wish list. Mini app dreams come true, joined by me. It was a lot of fun, and we'll talk more about that as well. Venture to, I'm not going to get this right, Tethex just popped up on the timeline, sharing clips from great builders like JRF and Jake. Don't know if full episodes are coming and more builders, but I'd keep an eye out for great content. C. Corellis shared a great Farcaster success story of paying for a house through his earnings and trading during his Farcaster journey. So it's a lot about, I think he scrubbed his cast, but he's earned a lot from DGen and Hire and also art that he's created along the way. So congrats to him. And lastly, it's worth noting that weekends are always quiet, but 2 projects that keep things buzzing every weekend, even though they don't get highlighted a lot. Betterment keeps the feed alive after spinning, art contests and poker. And Bracky keeps Farcasters on their toes with whatever sports are live that weekend. So shout out to them. Thanks, Brad Q, for the
object.
29 seconds. What?
I object that Betterment and Bracky don't get highlighted because
they get highlighted a lot. Yeah. Literally lining up interviews with both of them for the new year. But yeah, they get a lot of love. This from DWR, our priorities. We covered this last week at the public protocol meeting. Calling it a protocol meeting now. Interesting. Used to be a dev call. We're calling it a protocol call. Interesting. Wallet, yield, limit orders, prototyping prediction markets, manual trader outreach. So there was a lot of talk about we should have prediction markets. And it was like, it's obviously coming. It's like, just give it a minute. Without even seeing this, I knew it was coming. I mean, because it's just the obvious next step. And limit orders, there you go. There you go, Sir Cat. No need to meme. It's coming. Clanker, multi-vaults, fee syncs, birder pool extension, rethinking how to do pre-sales fair launch, revamping Clanker Spotlight, new weekly roundup, and then mini apps, minor bug fixes, and improvements. So there you go. So this is helpful. I like when we know what's going on and what's coming. So especially if we get questions from others. So this is good. And this from Linda, some of the ways we're supporting builders in the Clanker ecosystem. Clanker Spotlights, highlighting projects, which they're revamping and trying to be a little bit more thoughtful about in terms of when those go, and also highlighting projects that have already launched. So at first they were just doing new projects that were launching, and now they're taking a little quick look backwards to those who are doing some really cool things and making sure they're getting some love. So Clanker Spotlights, highlighting projects, weekly Clanker roundups, sharing builder updates, regular live streams on Twitter with builders for product demos, calls to answer questions and give feedback, group chat with our team to support and help boost. So look for these. And Linda's been doing a lot of great streams with builders as well. And we are also doing the Clancaster Spotlights on Mondays. So hopefully we're hitting all the different amazing builders between the two of us. And this is the weekly Clanker Roundup. I am not going to read this whole thing. It's very long.
But you should.
But you should go read this. And it
Not
includes,
you,
yes, I know, you, the audience. The collective you in the world should go read this. So it covers Banker, Emerge, Retake, Pool Fans, Indexy, Betterment, Farverse, On-Chain Inc., Rips, House, The Haberdashery, Likes, Barrio Entertainment System, that's Bays, Product Clank, and Operating System, or OPSIS. So lots of great updates in here for all these projects that also incorporate clankers into their various things.
Yes, and it's pretty cool how many of those, how familiar we are with the projects, because a lot of them are longer running, and how many we've had on the show.
Yeah, we've had a lot of them
and interviewed.
Yeah, we've had a lot of them, and then you can find some of those in the Clancaster Spotlight playlist on YouTube on the GM Farcaster channel. So Emerge is in there, I believe, with A-Town. I think that's in there. Maybe that's not. I don't know if that was an official one. Can't remember. But there's a whole bunch of guest roundup as well that we've done. So we have another playlist that's for guests. So lots of stuff in there. Very cool. This from Deodad, just kind of a fun thing. It's 2033. You tune your Neuralink to Farcaster Today's is your Warplet's oldest grandson's graduation day. I don't even know what that means. You quickly yoink your 4 billionth flag so as to not be late. You snag a virtual popcorn for $179.99 USDC, your waifu's favorite, and settle into your seat. As you wait, you fondly remember back to the day Dan told you to build your own client and decided to build the Warplets metaverse that eventually led Farcaster to PMF and the first network stage with nukes.
Man, that got dark. That took a dark turn, Deodad.
You gently pet your aging rock petlet and settle in. Today is a good day. Yeah, both of these have a little dystopian feel because then we had this from Derek.
It's super cute with the warplets and all, and then you had to throw in that somehow the metaverse has nukes. What?
Yes, the metaverse has nukes. The year is 2033. This is from Derek. Farcaster, the app is dead. Everyone saw the opportunity and used Gemini V8 to one-shot a custom client for themselves. Interesting. The protocol is alive and well, having finally decentralized more than sufficiently. We all work for Soldier Boy, who sybiled the base airdrop by manipulating Zora pump and dump schemes. He Supermaned that token. We watched him crank that. So if you're not following along on mostly on crypto Twitter, I've seen a little bit on Farcaster about this. There was a thing that happened with Soldier Boy. Jesse sometimes, just does things and maybe should have taken a pause on this one a little bit. So Soldier Boy has been known to rug quite a few projects, like 73. And then Jesse had bought his token. He launched a creator coin on Zora. Jesse bought the token and promoted it. And then people got a little, little upset, a little cranky out there in the timeline, in the other timeline. So just explain the Soldier Boy part of that one.
I didn't even know. It's so shocker. I didn't know all of the back context.
Shocking. I'm totally shocked. Okay, moving on.
You know what, though? First of all, we love Jesse.
Before we move on.
Yeah, let's just pause for a sec because we do love Jesse and he is a relentless supporter of creators. But just like good reminder, I think, for everyone to kind of do your own research, have a thought, 100%. Like people will, don't just take signals from like someone you follow who's got a big following online.
Yeah.
That's all.
Always. I mean, always. Like, and I've said that a million times, even just about me, who doesn't have a really big following online. But like, the reasons I might buy a token or buy somebody's creator coin or buy an NFT or whatever may not be for speculation and probably is not. So it is not necessarily a signal that this token is going to go up in value. It might be like, oh, my friend launched a token and I'm supporting it, and I have zero expectation of it going up in value. So
yeah, and it's so easy.
And that's what Jesse does. He supports anyone who's launching creator coins. So
yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of the tokens and creator coins and in the base app is it's so easy to buy. Right, you take out all the friction, and everybody's got one, and there's tokens for everything, and but that also makes it so you're not necessarily doing tons of research yourself before you buy. I'm talking about Jesse, someone it's just like, oh, so take the good and take the bad.
Take the good and take the bad, but it happens.
Yes,
and I guess I have no idea if it's pronounced waifu. By the way, sorry.
I think it's waifu. I think it's like a wifey. I think it came from like a wifey. It's a Japanese word that came from the English, like a wifey. So I think it was like wifey that was turned into a Japanese word. I could be wrong, and I only learned this being on Farcaster.
And I just could be, I could be totally butchering the pronunciation, as I often do. And that's funny. Yeah. Oops. I was trying to hit this one. I never do research. That's so boring. And I hit the other one. Let's bring that back up for you. All right. Anyway, moving on. We've got a few other things to talk about. This happened on Saturday. So I co-hosted with Mike, who was doing giveaways from the Wishlist app. So the way this was happening is he did a live stream. He gave away 10. I think it actually ended up being 11, as I think there was one bonus one because of some issues. And you either had to have a 0.9 NANAR score for half of them, and you didn't have to be live on the stream. And then the other half went to people who were live on the stream. So that was really fun. My favorite one, I loved the baseball glove. And then there was also a Vespa on one of the lists. And we're like, is that, and the limit was $2,000. But the Vespa apparently is like $1,200. So there you go.
Can you remind me who's paying for all these gifts? Like
it came from a clanker, a clanker called Wish, and the fees from the Wish token are being used to purchase all these gifts for folks who made a wish list on the Wish List mini app. So if you made a wish list, that's all you had to do was make a wish list, and you had a chance to win whatever was on your wish list. I won a Humankind candle. Other people won Vespas. you know,
you were not ambitious enough when you created your wish list.
Clearly didn't think it through at all. One, didn't think I was going to win anything. Two, just didn't think it through. I was making a wish list to show off other builders and not necessarily like things that I absolutely wanted, but also just to show off like gifter and minted merch and Humankind candles. So.
I do need to go figure. I need to, after this show, go look up how much Vespas actually cost.
And then it also could be location dependent. I think this was in India, so could be location dependent.
Okay.
But I think they're probably way more expensive here, is what I'm saying. So this is from Mike. Another one of my favorite wishes that came true today was Matthew.eth's wish for gloves, baseball gloves. Not just any baseball glove, his daughter's dream glove, a Wilson A2000 T125, and a glove for dad too. There's nothing like having catch with your pops. Happy holidays. So that was really fun. I did love that one as well. I thought that was a great gift, but also surprising how expensive baseball gloves are. Fancy gloves. So, but this was very cool. It was a really fun stream. I enjoyed being a co-host. You're living the life, girl.
It's
fantastic.
Mike, I got to tell him not to invite you back on. I don't want you to get
really fun.
You know what that feels like.
Really enjoyed it. And he had some technical challenges in the beginning. I'm like, oh yeah, that happens. It's fine.
You just sit back.
It's fine. Yeah. So anyways, it was really fun. I really enjoyed the stream. It was like a 2-hour stream and gave away a lot of stuff. So
you had a lot of people show up, it looks like, to that stream as well. Because
very active stream. Very active stream. A lot of folks and a lot of people won stuff. So congratulations to everyone who got their wishes. And just awesome job, Mike. This was such a fun project, and he's just put in so much time and effort into it. And I just love, I love what he's doing. So it was very cool. This from Deployer, Banker Swap. This feedback from TLDR made my day. I never did a TWAP before, understood and set one up in 2 minutes on swap.banker.bot. And this was, TLDR had posted this over on Twitter. Mom, Dad, I hope you're not reading this, but I just twapped for the first time ever. Took me literally 2 minutes on Banker Terminal to sign in, understand, and execute. Dangerously easy. This is a powerful modular complement to the Banker bot I know and love in Feed. So there you go. And this is a way to set a certain amount that you want to purchase, and then purchase it over whatever time period that you set. So for example, if you set like, I want to purchase whatever of this token, like 1 ETH of this particular token over 24-hour period, and it tries to find the best pricing to do that for you. So there you go. This from Beeper, we get it. A lot of people still don't fully know what Beeper is. You guys are just early. Beeper isn't a press button, get paid toy. It's an attention layer. Paid attention with intent. We're shipping this chapter by chapter, tight scope, real signal, learn fast. So far, we have been sending pings the careful way, handpicked collabs, 1-1 combos, projects we actually believe in. Now we're opening the door a crack, beep, beep. So what they did was now open this up for other folks to send notices via their Beeper inbox. You do have to request access, and you can use this form to do so. So A little confusing on the form because it's asking you for budgets and things like that, but not really explaining the like fully explaining those mechanics. I did fill it out just to see, and we'll see if we get access that we can promote. This from Pip, the Lost Pump Nounish Trivia. Each day of December, a clue will be revealed. Each clue corresponds to a single word. By December 24th, you will have all 24 words ready for the countdown. There will be no more clues or communications beyond the daily automated question posted until a winner is found. No need to reveal your answers before December 24th. At NOC, 9 o'clock, things are a bit backwards, so bear that in mind and use the future to help uncover the clues to the words you need to claim the pump. Any future passwords are shown, like 25. Where would you replace 5 with that corresponding word? Hence, use the future to help you in the past if you couldn't get the answer in the present. First question coming around 9 o'clock today. So check out the 9 o'clock channel for more information if you want to try to win a noun, a pump noun. So
That's so
there
cool.
you go. Yeah, fun. This, I don't know why, but this is from Socrates. It's not Socrates, but it's Sartocrates. Sartocrates. This mini app has nothing whatsoever to do with money. It is an on-chain fiddle tune archive. Traditional American fiddle source recordings preserved on-chain. Because I don't know why, but there you go. Should you have ever always wanted to learn more about the fiddle, there you go. Go check it out. So I don't know. I don't know why, but there we go. This from, oops. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Let me close this group over here. Not that that wasn't fun. That was all fun. But here's the fun tab. This from Miguel Garest. I just loved this. I thought it was very cute. I always love a Miguel Garest piece of work. I really wish he would mint more of these more often. But anyway, love that. Very cute. And then we had this from Bertwurst and Say Angel. Who's ready for the weekend? And Bertwurst just showed Say Angel and Bertwurst, their warplets, jumping into some sort of portal. And what came out of the portal was petlets. So we have petlets. I'm very excited about the petlets. I like the petlets. If you like the petlets, give a shout out in the chat. They're very cute. So this is from Bertwurst. Weekends are for petlets. Thrilled to be part of the first Harmony Bot collectible collab. Harmony Bot is Say Angel's mechanics over there for NFTs. Huger than huge thank you to Say Angel for making my petlet dreams come true. There are 4 petlet species. You pick your favorite. Their DNA is partially influenced by your Farcaster closest friends, powered by Quotient. Wave 1 of minting is only open to those who are holding on to their original warplet. So if you sold your warplet, you're SOL. Oh, well. You cannot make a petlet. And you had the rock, or it's called a walk, I guess, the Woonicorn, the wort, and the wool. So these are your options that you get to choose from. And here's some examples of what they look like. Here's the wort. And then we have this is the Woonicorn and the walk or the rock. It's based on Pet Rock Life. And then the wool, which is a Ethereum bull. And it's pretty cool. So these are just fun little things that you can mint, and it matches your it works with your DNA and the DNA of your 2 closest friends to create this. Unbelievable amount of fun on the timeline is what I will say. Like, look how cute these are. They're so cute. So Bertwurst was posting them in groups of different types, and these ones have Ethereum. This one has like Ethereum horns. Mm-hmm. So cute. These are like all the hoodie dark ones. These are the pink ones. They're just cute. They're just cute and fun. Don't overthink it. So I enjoyed this. This is really fun. I've been enjoying the petlets. I'm looking for, these are fun, the DGen ones. And then there's some that are freaks. And by freaks, I mean they are some kind of hybrid, and they weren't supposed to happen like that. They're mutants. So we've got some mutants in there, and including mine. So mine is this one. It's you and me and JC.
I love it.
So yeah, and it has your face.
How can you tell?
You just, if you go and look at your warplet, it has your like it has your look. It got that look from you.
Adrian's face.
It's Adrian's
face.
face.
My face.
It's got your face.
The unamused
face. It's great. And it's a combination. Mine ended up as, I chose a wort, but it ended up with a unicorn horn too.
Interesting.
So just randomly. So just a fun little thing.
Mutants. So cute.
So cute.
I didn't mint one this weekend.
You need to go do it. I want to see.
Not in an act of defiance. It didn't mean anything, whether I meant it or not. I just didn't.
It was not. It did not. Speaking of,
don't read into my lack of actions. It wasn't a protest.
It was not a protest. Okay. Well, there might be somebody who is protesting. If I can get this to come up. And I enjoy them. I enjoy the pedlets. I enjoy warplets. I enjoy Tri-Emerge. I enjoy AI slop. So this was from Mike Good, who said, maybe a hot take, but I kind of hate opening the feed and seeing more AI slop apps first work from actual artists. Pets now. So we kind of went back and forth. It was funny because he tagged Brett Draws Stuff in this thread, and Brett actually had already minted a petlet, and I'm actually in the DNA, which is really funny. So I think it's like, I think we don't have to overthink these things. You know what? Sometimes they're just fun to be had on the timeline. There's been so much complaining about the trader focus that you'd think this would be the thing that, like, you know, lightens it up. We've got something fun on the timeline. Don't overthink it. Not everything has to be high art. Sometimes it can just be fun, and it's fine. By the way, Merriam-Webster's word of the year. Have you heard? Can you guess?
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard yet. When did it get announced? My prediction was going to be slop.
You got it. Nailed it.
Oh, I was
Crushed
right.
it. Crushed it, girl.
Yes. And I've got the receipts because I have it.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. Slop is the word. Slop is the word. And the AI architects were the people of the year, which was, you know, sometimes Time does that and does that little cop out where they don't want to pick one person. They do that sometimes.
Hey, Prof, I just remembered that it's usually my job to send our guests the link for them to join.
Oh my God. Did we not send them a link?
I did not. And I'm going to do that right now because he's coming. He's ready. He's just waiting for a link.
Sorry about that, Jake. About that, Jake.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
as if we just started doing this. Okay.
Great. Yeah, that was my bad because I was having the combo with him. So I forgot. Just totally forgot to drop the link. All right. So anyway, I get it. You want to see more art, actual art on the timeline. I do as well, but the artists aren't necessarily showing up here anymore which I understand as well. So, but come on back, artists. We love you. We love seeing you on the timeline. All right. I do see Jake in the green room now. Sorry about that. I was just like, do. Yeah, totally forgot that we didn't send him an actual thing. All right. So we're going to shift gears to our Farcaster Spotlight. And this is where we highlight a builder who is building on Farcaster and incorporating Clanker. And I'm going to bring you up right now, Jake. And there we go. Welcome to GM Farcaster again, Jake. It's great to have you here.
Hello. Great to be here. Can you guys hear me all right?
Can hear you great. Can hear you
let me
great.
I
just
can't really
switch
see you,
one
Jake.
quick
Jake,
thing,
I
'cause think
can't see you.
There's a little bit of an echo. 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, we hear you great.
I heard some sort of commentary around, my face reveal. Here I am, blue dot.
Blue dot. You look great today. The blue is bringing out your eyes.
Yeah, I'm consistent. Same thing every day.
I love it. Well, it's, isn't that the classic builder thing? They just wear the same thing every day so they don't have to think about it.
Yeah, that's true. I thought you meant consistency, and I was like,
that too.
It's been pretty volatile for me, but yeah, I try to be consistent.
All right, let's jump in. For those who don't know, let's start at the beginning because we may have a lot of folks joining who are not familiar with QR. So let's start with what is QR.fun and how did you come up with the concept? So let's start there.
Yeah, sure. So QRcoin.fun is a website and a mini app, and it is a daily auction for attention. So what does that mean? Many people are familiar with like the nouns auctions or in general, any auction for a physical product like the old eBay or Christie's or whatever it might be. People are generally familiar with auctions. The highest bidder wins, and usually they win some sort of physical object, or in the case of nouns, they win an NFT, a piece of art, if you will, or membership of a community, whatever that entails. You're obviously well familiar.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and so
it entails many things, but
exactly.
It entails a vote. At the core of it, it's a vote in how the treasury is dispersed. But yeah, exactly. And it's also a piece of art. You end up with a work of art that's been made by some incredible pixel artists as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to minimize what you win with nouns because I'm not as familiar as you and others, but I know it's involving art and membership and voting rights and things like that. In this case, it's not really a tangible object. It is pure attention. So, we're basically driving attention to the winner of our auction every day. And in the beginning, the way that we did that was just me sort of scratching and clawing for any bit of attention that I could bring to our daily winner. So I would do like a long form write up, basically like a blog post in the form of a tweet and a cast, and share that out and just try to drive as much attention to the winning link that I could every day. And it was a lot of manual work. We didn't have any sort of systematic way of driving any attention. Sorry, I'm just closing out today's auction as we speak.
Cool.
So
is it QR o'clock?
Yeah, 12 o'clock is QR
clock.
I figured I could handle both, but it's I can't do it while literally in the middle of a sentence. But there we go, it's settled. And actually, it was a really cool winner today, Deployer from Banker.
Cool.
Have attention to Bank Swap. Oops. So anyway, in the beginning, scraping and clawing for any attention that we could get, helped by the fact that I had some following on my personals. But QRcoin.fun created earlier this year started with 0 followers, and it's not easy, as anyone who's tried to build even their own personal sort of oh, that's not good.
That's me. That was me. That was on purpose.
Okay.
That was on purpose. I closed out. I just didn't feel like logging into MetaMask and all that.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm on my laptop. I'll go back in later.
Okay. Yeah, claiming should work. But anyway, you'll actually, if you stay on this, you'll see some bids coming in shortly from the new auto bid feature. We're getting way too in the weeds here from like me talking about what's going on now versus the origin story. But basically,
that's okay.
Daily auction for attention, originally just sort of driving attention however we could. A couple months in, 2 or 3 months in, started to find ways to more systematically drive attention on a daily basis. And Farcaster was basically the powerful lever that we used to do that. And so we launched our mini app, which is the same as the ticker for the token, $QR. The mini app is the same as sort of the website in appearance. It looks just like the mobile website would. Now you can see bids coming in on the daily auction. And so what we did was we got a bunch of users to add the mini app, and then Farcaster has this cool infrastructure where mini apps can send notifications to its users on a daily basis. And so we started sending a daily notification saying, so-and-so won today's auction. Check the link that they, bid to win with. And, you can claim a small amount of QR as a reward for doing that. And so basically, like, everyone talks. I mean, I could go in like a million different directions. I'll try to keep this brief, and then we can go into whatever you guys want to. But
we'll go into all the things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think you have all these people in crypto who have all these different tokens increasing by the day. And everyone sort of, there's this thing about like sort of working for your bags, but like no one actually does. And like, why not? Because, if I've got 17 tokens in my bag, how am I going to work for all of them? Like if I've got a day job and another thing and one token that I care more about than the others and whatever, like, and most people might work for one or two tokens in their bag. And when I said 17 as an example, most people realistically have like 170 or 1,700
at least
or whatever it is. And so if you want people to actually work for their bags, I think you need to make it extremely clear one specific and maximally easy and fast thing that they can do to quote unquote, work for their bags. And in this case, I think we've basically identified the easiest thing possible to do, on the internet, which is to click one link every day. Like that's even easier if you think about it than like sending one tweet. Like sending one tweet, you have to like type stuff and then like press a button. Clicking a link is one click. Like there's no button clicks, it's one click. And not only are we asking people to do that, because it's the primary thing that brings value to our project, driving attention to the winning link. And like you can do that by clicking that link. And then of course, like obviously when you get there, we hope that you spend the time and learn about it and check it out. But even for someone like me who runs the project, like I'm going to be much more interested in some links than others. And so some days I'll check it out and I'll leave right away because I'm like, kind of low quality. Other days I'll check it out and I'll be like, wow, I'd never heard of this builder, never seen this project. This is brand new. This looks great. Oh, it has a token. Oh, I'm going to buy that token. And that exact like flow of things has happened multiple times where I've then bought Noise token the day that it launched. I bought Donut very early on and didn't do quite as well as Nounish Prof, but got like a 50x or something like that. And so, you have to use some judgment. I'm not saying every winner of the QR is going to be like insane alpha, but I'm like so much more tapped into what's new on chain as a result of building this project. And anyone can be sort of similar to me in that capacity just by following the auction. It's a public auction. It's not like I have any information that's private here. I'm just following the auction every day. And so anyway, we pay these people to actually do that action with a small amount of QR, which ties the token together with the project. And, what are tokens good for if not driving mass actions, basically? And, the micropayments that we're making are of amounts that, depending on where you draw the line for like feasibility of micropayments, gas on base just got to like less than 1/10 of a cent, like within the last year. So you could argue if you were to draw a line in the sand, obviously it's more of a spectrum and there's not a line, but if you were to draw a line in the sand on like, okay, where are micropayments feasible? You could argue if you made it 1/10 of a cent that they became feasible within the last year in crypto and because of crypto, and that they weren't obviously prior to crypto at all. And so it's something sort of interesting where the why now we kind of got lucky on post-launch. Like that wasn't a part of the plan going in. The plan going in was very simply look at all these tokens, even the ones that quote unquote succeed, get attention, and then they flame out and they're never able to sort of recapture the attention that they got, usually around launch, sometimes later. And they basically die. And is there a way to create a token that actually doesn't die, that actually has a sort of a sustainable loop that sort of keeps the attention on the thing? And to me, there's no one thing that can keep attention for a very long time, or at least there's very few things that can do that. And so you need to change the thing. And QR built a system that changes the thing. And so we drive attention to something new every day. And we could go 30 or 60 days cold with not that much attention on the project. But then when the next Noise launches or Donut launches through QR and they're simultaneously driving attention to one another, QR is relevant again. And so it can become sort of this evergreen on-chain attention machine, as we call it.
And so you also have it, so you can go direct to the actual website as well, which is qrcoin.fun, and see it there. So anyone, even if they weren't on Farcaster or weren't on Base app, to access the mini app, you can still bid, you can still see what's going on, which is very cool. So you've got that as well. You've got the today's winner is there, the large QR code. And you've also done physical like stickers with the QR code and put them up. And that's going to be like an eternal code that switches every day. So that's pretty cool, where it's kind of evergreen in terms of its activity.
Yeah, with the stickers, I mean, you could imagine whether it's stickers or billboards or magazine ads or subway ads or whatever it might be, that physical distribution of basically an advertisement compounds over time because it never loses relevance. The link to which it points to changes every day. And so as long as stickers continue going up faster than they're coming down, the distribution for the winner of every auction every day is going up. I think, I'm not trying to I think a lot of projects will, over exaggerate the importance of various pieces of the project at various stages. And at this point in time, the physical scanning of QRs is not going to move the needle for the amount of attention that's going to be driven to our winners every day. But long-term, this would be a different project if it was called linkoftheday.com and there was no physical component. There is a physical component that long-term could become important, but I think it's a lot easier, faster, and cheaper to grow in the digital world. And so we're focused purely on that to start. We've done a couple of things, such as just producing the stickers, making them available for sale. If you go to map.qrcoin.fun, you can actually see people who choose to put up the stickers and, tag where they pick them up and stuff like that. You can see that. So we've sort of said, here's a glimpse at what could happen in the future, but we're not spending time there. And if people want to take it and run with it and buy a big bag of QR and actually take some initiative and really work for their bags, then fine, that's great. But for me, if I spend a bunch of time on the physical stuff, we're just going to die because we have to do the digital stuff first. So
this is cool though. I did not realize that you had the map. So that's pretty cool. To see that.
And
the
way that we pay people to click links today, you could easily imagine we could pay people to verify that they put a sticker up somewhere at some point. Again, we're not doing that now, but there's a lot that having the QR be the image for the token and literally functional. For example, our memes, when people do a QR meme, they scan. If someone stumbles upon that same meme, as we build a meme library or something like that, that meme library is functional. So when you reuse a meme, it's going to scan to the winner that day, even if you use it 2 years after it was created and things like that. So there's a lot of cool things, I think, that having the QR, a functional QR, an on-chain QR, by the way, as the image for the token adds to the project versus could we have done this, like I said, as linkoftheday.com for sure. And would that much have changed so far? Maybe not. But I think there's a lot more potential introduced by the sort of physical to digital bridge. And in general, I feel I've actually been pleased by how little confusion the QR has introduced. In the beginning, people would be like, how many people are scanning the QR? And I was like, that's not really the right question. It's how much attention is being driven to the winner every day is sort of the better question. But I understand why people ask that. And I've been pleasantly surprised by how that question has become less popular.
Wait, Jake, what's the difference?
Because when you go to our mini app and if you click the QR, for example, or you click the pop-up with today's winner, you're not actually scanning the QR, right? You're not taking your phone up and scanning. And people wanted to know how many people are actually scanning, because you see a QR and you're like, oh, the important thing is who's scanning it. But the QR is more symbolic. And a lot of people sort of identify a QR and they think of a QR and it's oh, that redirects to something. So that part is useful for us. But there's not, we're not even tracking how many people are scanning the QR, in terms of physically scanning to get to somewhere. What we are tracking is, how many people are going through sort of our main flow and checking out the winning link every day and then collecting a little bit of QR as a reward. And so that's that number that you'll see on the homepage there, 7,884 visitors yesterday. That's people going to the winning link, checking it out, coming back to the QR mini app, whether it's on Farcaster or the World app, and then claiming a little bit of QR as a reward.
And I do it pretty much. Yeah, I do it most days because I see the notification or I'm seeing the auction in my feed. So that's the social aspect of it. And then I'm going to it, checking out what the link is and collecting my, 9, 10 cents of QR. And I'm happy. I'm very happy about it. We do have a question.
Jake,
oh, go ahead.
I would say before, Jake, I was thinking of you in when I was at Dev Connect of Buenos Aires. I did a bike tour for the afternoon. And the entire time I was biking behind a guy who had a QR tattoo on his calf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what does that scan to? What does it scan to? And I immediately thought of you.
It's funny. I love like, people like will see a QR and be like, I thought of you. And I love to sort of be associated. I mean, you look at like my blue dot logo, like part of the original thinking behind that was like, if I can have people see this blue dot in the feed and like associate that with me, that would be pretty cool. Like that's a pretty fundamental thing. Like not the most popular, like one of the most fundamental colors, if not the most fundamental color on the internet, in my opinion, which is this pure blue. And then, a circle is like a fundamental shape. Like you're just putting two like very fundamental things together. And if you can have that association, that's pretty cool. And similarly with QR, it's like if people start seeing the QR or any QR rather, and thinking of like what I hope would be, could become like the QR, like that's really cool. And
that's very cool.
Yeah. And so, what was I going to say one other thing about that?
And I loved this from Yester Crypto too. I dream of a day when the future purity test asks, have you ever won a QR auction?
Yeah.
We'll see, I can say yes to that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. And the other thing you reminded me of with the the person who had a tattoo, it sounded like with the QR is like more than a few people have like reached out to me and been like, you should sponsor a, giveaway or a bounty or whatever for someone to get a QR tattoo. I just can't bring myself for some reason to incentivize that.
Okay.
But so if anyone wants to,
we used to have that announced. That used to be a thing announced where if you got a Nouns tattoo, we had small grants committee at Noun 22, and he would reimburse you for it.
Wow. So Nouns has no reservations on incentivizing.
And then, and I have a little one, but
there you go. Did you earn?
This was at an event.
Did you get paid for it or no?
It was free. Yeah, it was free to me. It was at an event. So
the mom in me wants to tell you, Jake, you're doing a good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I think my mother would be proud as well.
No need to incentivize that, I guess. So this question from Yester Crypto, I think, is interesting. Does the smart contract direct the web link, or is that still humanly centralized?
The smart contract has the link as a field included on it. So I could send a link to, a link to the contract for anyone who, wants to see it. I don't know. We should probably put it somewhere on the website. I just sort of figure, a lot of people don't care, but I could put it somewhere on the information page or something like that. People could take a look at the contract.
And just so that folks understand how the bidding mechanics work, so you've got a few options here. You can just put in a bid yourself, and you're adding in the link right when you bid. So it's going into your bid. And then you can choose, actually you can choose other, it's not going to let me do this, but you can choose other tokens as well, right? You can select different token.
If you put a smaller amount there, I don't know if you have, you don't have a wallet.
I'm not connected. So that's why, because it's,
if you do, what basically happens is you put any amount in there, and then the USDC drop down will show any tokens that you have at least that balance of in your wallet. So it's not showing like a bunch of unnecessary tokens. So if you have, if you put in $12 and you have a wallet with $40 of Clanker and $50 of QR and $100 of ETH, it'll show those tokens. And then you can bid using any one of those to whatever link you want and click start bid. And if you check the auto box, this was something we recently added, that same bid will basically be held in an escrow where it will be applied every day until you either win or cancel your bid. And so if you scroll down now, we actually had a small issue that was solved, in the last 10 or 15 minutes, that basically the auto bids weren't going, but now you can see them. So there's, 7 or 8 auto bids. Most of these, if not all of these, are auto bids from prior that replaced prior days. So these users themselves haven't actually probably engaged with QR today. Their bids were placed, yesterday or the day before that when we shipped the feature. And
for the Nouns folk are familiar with the auto bid. Very familiar.
Is auto bid actually a feature on Nouns?
No, but people have built bots to do it for them.
Okay,
so, exactly. Over time, there was a few larger whales who used to do it, And then there were groups that used to do it. So for example, at times we've had Little Nouns who's created a smart contract that would bid. And the other thing that happens, and I'm not sure, I saw this happen the other day, and that's why I actually opened up a Farhouse and jumped on to watch it, where you're towards the end of the auction, but it keeps extending. Is that what's going on, or does it actually end right at noon?
No, so it's scheduled to end at noon every day, but if there is a change in the lead bid within the last 5 minutes, it will extend another 5 minutes, and that'll happen basically, for all intents and purposes until a lead bid maintains the lead for 5 minutes straight. And so we've had, within the last week or so, we've had a couple of pretty extended overtimes. One of them went almost a full hour, which I don't have like a record of these things, but I think I would doubt that we've ever had an overtime run longer than an hour. That's just a lot of back and forth. Usually someone gets sort of bored and like bids it way up, and then it's kind of over.
I don't think Symbio is in the, he's not in the chat, but there was a time period where Nouns had one and it went on for a couple hours, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was 420. If I remember correctly, it was Noun 420 and they were trying to get a weed noun. And then I think the bids for that went long too. I can't remember if that was the FOMO or the bids.
Yeah.
But it gets, so how far, but it still will end at noon. Like it still starts to slow down at noon. It's not, or is it a full 24 hours? So does your auction now extend further out is what I'm trying to get at.
No, it'll end at noon. So there were a couple of adjustments that we made. We originally forked the Nouns contract. So everything was pretty much the same other than the fact that you're attaching a link to your bid, which is obviously not part of Nouns.
Right.
We've since made a couple of, because I'm like, Nouns is the best auction in crypto still to this day. I do think personally, obviously I'm biased, but I think QR is the hottest auction in crypto and has been for a number of months. But Nouns is the all-time greatest daily auction in crypto, I would say, and will remain so for a while unless we have some
infinitely
crazy growth. Maybe infinitely. Well, we'll see. I'm trying to change
one noun every day. One noun every day forever.
No, it's great. It's great, and like I have a ton of respect for it. And so like I'm a big fan of don't reinvent the wheel. If you're going to take some sort of opinion and introduce some sort of risk, like you want to minimize the number of those that you have to be right on in order for the thing to succeed. And so we're already sort of taking a risk with this weird project that's going to be hard for people to understand. Let's start out with an auction that is somewhat familiar within crypto. So we forked Nouns, and then we've since changed a few things. So Nouns is bidding in ETH. We originally were bidding in ETH. Then we tried bidding in QR because it more intimately ties the token to the project, and in theory, drives more demand for QR because it enforces people to bid in QR. And that should be good for the token. In reality, when we did that between auctions like 20. I don't remember the exact numbers, 27 to 63 or something like that.
I think, did you have to bid in QR, Adrian? Because you were like auction 40 something, I think.
Do you remember? I did. Yeah, probably did.
I think so, probably.
Auction 40, definitely. It was definitely 20 something to 60 something. And it was bidding in QR. And basically, as you guys know, like for any of these crypto projects, it's really, you launch and the default is that no one cares. The success story is that people actually care. Then after that, within that subset of launches that people care about, the default is that no one cares 2 or 3 days later, or honestly, even like 2 or 3 hours later sometimes. And it's very hard to be in the small group that people actually do care about for like a full week or a full month. You look at something like Punk Strategy, right? Like people cared about that for like a solid month, if not more. And like, when was the last time you thought about it though? Like, great project. I love Rhinotic. I think he's one of the best builders in crypto, period. Was super stoked to see that project take off, and I hope it comes back. Like there are projects that sort of come back from that like massive peak and fall. And
because I'm still holding my Punkster. I was like, I thought it was going to keep running. I really did. That was one of those ones that I'm like, this one's got some staying power, and it still fell off. And that happens. And I think what you've seen with the auction, which I think is interesting, is this sort of wave where you like, you have moments where it really pops off, and that's a great thing. Like, it's a great thing that different moments are going to drive attention to the auction itself. And then the auction then drives attention to those projects. And then the projects talk about that attention, thus bringing more people in to, who want attention for their auction.
Yeah.
So their project.
Yeah. And so, what was I going to say? So, yeah, I guess going back to the nouns thing, we originally had the bidding in ETH, then we went back to bidding in QR. I was basically describing through these various projects as examples how hard it is to not just have like an initial burst of attention, but actually sustain it. And so we're on like day 20 something here. I changed bidding to QR, introducing more friction to bidding. And I'm already, I just want one bid a day. Like I want someone to win the auction. Like I don't want it to go for $2 to no one or whatever it is. I mean, realistically, someone was going to bid, but like maybe not, honestly. And then if they do, like I'd rather it not go for $2. I think the lowest one ever went for $20 something or something like that of whatever the token was at the time. And so I was trying to get this floor of like $100 or something. That was like a big thing to me. And now, the all-time average is 600 and we haven't been below 200 in over 200 days. But at the time, like, again, scratching and clawing for any bit of attention. We don't have any systematic drivers of attention. We don't have a lot of people aware of the project, like not a lot of bids every day. And here I am introducing this friction to bidding by making people get this token that most people don't have compared to USDC or ETH. And then on top of that, like the one reason we did the thing was for the benefit of the token. And meanwhile, the token is like either flat or falling. And I'm just like, this is not working. Like in theory, it's good for the token. In practice, and with the known trade-off of introducing some friction to bidding, like I knew that in advance and I was willing to accept that. And then I see the friction pay off or like, go as expected. And the token doesn't do anything positive. So I'm like, there's a lot of things in this category that in theory are good for token holders, but in reality, people don't care about or don't seem to care about, or the market doesn't value. And so we tried to wind that back pretty quickly, wanted to give it some chance. So we gave it like 30, 40 days. And then we switched to USDC, which is a little bit better than ETH for a few reasons, in my view. Certainly helps from like a tax perspective. And there's a bunch of other reasons. I have a tweet about it. I could pull it up, but I think for normies, seeing a bid priced in USDC, or rather, we just show it in dollars, and that's a lot more familiar than ETH, where people just want to kind of convert it to dollars anyway. So like the legibility for what I hope could one day be like sort of a mainstream project, and so obviously we've kept it now for whatever it's been 200 plus days, and so I do like USDC, but then while it remains the default and sort of the unit of account for the auction is still dollars, just recently, we added that thing where you can now bid in any token. So that to me is better. It reduces friction further, because if you have $100 of USDC in your wallet and you want to bid 250 and you have $300 worth of, or $3,000 worth of Clanker, you'd probably rather spend the Clanker. And so you go and you bid in Clanker. And so it's like slightly less friction for people. And it's a cool thing. Like you can't do a lot with tokens. You can generally buy or sell or swap or whatever. And here you can bid. You can actually like use the token for something. So that was one thing. And
what would the token do? There you go.
Exactly. What's the token?
Here's an answer.
Go bid on QR.
Here's an answer. You can go bid on QR. Some other things that I love that you've incorporated the URL right from the jump, from like it's not something you're collecting after the fact, for two reasons. One, I just love that it's an on-chain mechanic that's in there, but also it provides some attention right up front. So if you're bidding and you're a smaller project and maybe you're not going to win the bid, people are probably going to look through there. Like I am, I'm looking through to see who bid, and I'm seeing, URLs there already. So very cool.
And here's the thing. So like we're on this stream right now, right? And like we're looking at the thing and it's like, okay, there's like in the 3 slot, there's Garrett with like lasertechnologies.com. And like, it doesn't matter. Like you don't need to have that attention driven to that doesn't need to be worth $100, which is non-trivial. Like you want, if you're paying $100, like you want a good amount of attention for something. And I think we're delivering a good amount of attention worth at least $101. If you were to win the auction, in my personal view, everyone can value that themselves. And that's why this is an auction. We're not selling attention for a fixed price every day based on my opinion of what it's worth. It's an auction and anyone can judge what that attention is worth. And one of the things is, I've been pretty encouraged by is the number of repeat winners. So like the best endorsement of the attention that's driven to the winners, in my view, is someone winning and then going back and bidding again to win. because that shows that they felt that it was worth it. And when I first built this project, I actually didn't like the concept of repeat winners, as like obvious as it might sound, didn't occur to me. Like I thought that you would want to use this to drive attention to something of yours once. And like after you did that, like you did it, you took advantage of that tool and like you're good. But like in reality, like I don't know the exact numbers these days, but like somewhere between like somewhere around like maybe a quarter of our winners have won multiple auctions. So even though we've had, 285 auctions, we probably have well under 250 individual winners. My guess would be closer to 200, maybe even less than that, because of all these repeat winners. And so anyway, people can value attention how they want, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to have to argue with you that the attention is worth something. Like attention is a very fluid and like hard to value thing. So people can value it how they want. That's why it's an auction. An auction is like a very awesome thing for that reason, that you don't have to choose the price as the seller. But anyway, in my personal view, the attention that we're driving on a daily basis is worth more than $101. But in the case of Garrett's Laser Technologies bid there, which is an auto bid that he's placed a day or two ago to go on every day, to your point, I mean, we're talking about him now. Yep. You're looking at the bids every day and you're seeing these bids. And like, even if you get 2, 3, 20, 30, however many eyeballs on it, which by the way, like all of these being on the bid board, there's no way you're going to get as much attention as if you win because of the systematic, driving of attention that we do. But you're getting some attention, and Garrett's not paying $101 for that. He's paying like 1/10 of a cent for the gas that it cost him to place the initial auto bid. Every day after that, when the auto bid gets placed, we're sponsoring the gas there, and he can cancel that bid at any time. So if he cancels it now, this entire conversation, everything, any attention that link has gotten cost him. I mean, I'm trying to be like overly correct here by saying it costs him 1/10 of a cent from gas, but it's free. And so by placing an auto bid or just placing a bid in general that you don't expect to actually win, it's free attention. And so, you beat the drum on these things and like you hope people catch on. It's actually like surprisingly hard to get anyone to do anything. But like placing a low bid on the QR auction is like
I need to clip that, Jake.
But like placing a low bid on the QR auction is like really a no-brainer. Like someone like this guy Zora Co. Super Fresh. He's $18. All these.
By the way, these are linked. You know what I mean? Like I can go into like they're linked as well. So even if you don't win the auction, during the auction, you're still getting attention, and people can link out to whatever link you would put in there. So,
and so I'm very bullish on this feature because
I am too.
For that reason, and because this bid board will now start compounding for the first time ever. Like prior to a couple of days ago, every day started from scratch, and now that's no longer the case. And it's interesting to hear. I was not aware that the auto bidders were on Nouns.
They're like I said, it's not something built by Nouns, it's built by other people. So, and that's been happening since early days. Like
so the same thing happened here, where that guy at the top, Remy Byte, who is now using our auto bid feature, previously had this cool thing that he built himself where he bid the amount equal to the auction number every day. So today he would have bid 285, yesterday he would have been 284. And it's just, he's been doing it for like a long time, like since before auction 100. And he's never won. And so it's been very cool and helpful for the project that he's basically set this floor every day. And it's not like a hack or anything like that, because, any day, if no one was interested in bidding more than him, he would have won. But he skipped all the low bidding war stuff and just said, here's my bid, and started like sort of the floor bidding. And fortunately, every day someone decided to outbid him. And I've sort of been waiting for the day. Like a lot of days, it's like, in the past, it was like one person outbid him by like $10. And I was like waiting for the day, like one day Remy Byte's going to win. And then I'm going to be kind of scared. Like, is there going to be a floor anymore? Like, does he want it again or whatever? And now that we have this auto bid that's, a built-in feature, I'm much less concerned, because I know if Remy Byte wins, DS8's got that 250 auto bid on there. And Garrett's got 101. Like anyone else can come in under that. So
that's one of the things I've seen in Nouns for a long time is there's generally a market maker. And we don't call them, they're not really that, and they're not really setting a floor per se, but they are. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are coming in, they're bidding every day, and it goes through phases. There are different people at different times, and they have their own motivations. So, it will wax and wane.
Right.
But it's cool to see these folks who are showing up every day. And I love that you've now built in the auto bid. I think that's super helpful. And I hope people understand, like, yeah, there's value to that. The other thing I really love and that I wish Nouns had was join bid, because we have done that as well. And that's how I ended up with my first Noun, was a group of folks coming together. But the way that worked was, I'm going to trust these two people I've never met before, who I only know on the internet, I'm going to send them money to a safe and just hope that they don't walk away with it. Luckily, it was Toady Hawk and Ben Bodie. So I got lucky there. But, this is a much easier way to do this. So if you haven't tried this before, you can click on join bid and kind of rally behind a particular bid. And your bid that's going in, if it doesn't win, you get your bid back. So in general, for any of these, but even if you just join a bid, and you did a really cool incentive the other day, so that whole mechanic really popped off, like crazy.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, on the group bidding, I love that feature as well. It's actually my wife's idea, which
great idea.
I think is pretty. I like that. Like, that's a nice piece of the story, which I think QR in general is developing to be a pretty interesting story if it works. If it doesn't work, no one cares. But if it works, I think it'll be a pretty great story in a number of ways. And that's one that she built like that, or she sort of suggested that core feature.
Great idea. It was a great idea. Shout out Mrs. Jake. Fantastic.
Yeah. And so anyway, the other day I did an experiment that, we just put out. It was actually prompted by the guys at Beeper, who wanted to run some sort of campaign and, wanted me to like sort of match some, or, contribute. Like, they were happy to do it on their own. I don't mean to say anything like pressure or anything, but they were basically like, hey, we want to do this thing. It'd be cool if QR matched like sort of our incentive for our users with some QR. And I was like, that's a great idea. I would love for you to do it. I can't incentivize a single bid on a given day, because that compromises like the integrity of the auction. Like, I can't play favorites. What I can do is do a general giveaway, and say, for the winning bid this day, we'll give away X amount of QR, and that will include your bid if it wins, but not if it doesn't. And they were like, okay, great. Because, it accomplishes the same thing that they were looking for. It's just generalizing the incentive rather than making it only for their bid. And so I did that.
Very cool.
And we did $1,000 worth of QR. And the winning bid ended up being like $3,500. There was at least a few bids over $3,000. And most notably, that was our second highest winning bid of all time. But most notably, the number that was like blown out of the water was the most contributors on a single auction. So I tweeted this out. I forget the exact numbers, but like, I think we had 750 unique bidders, where the prior high was like around 100 or 200 or something like that. The total number of like contributions to all bids was over 1,000, and the highest previous was 200 and something. And like one bid alone had like over.
I think it was this one. Oh no, I guess that was the auto bid. That was the auto bid.
If you go back a few, or you can go to the winners table, or you can just click the back button to 281. That was the one. Okay. Incentive. And so you can see like the top bid had 176 contributors, and next one had over 100. The fifth best bid had 443 contributors. So basically, like, all these people, and this is actually another really good example of, it's hard to get anyone to do anything. In this case, these 171 contributors to the winning bid, or 176, because it's the 5 PFPs plus the
plus
171. Yeah. So 176, they all won an equal share of $1,000 worth of QR. And if you click on their PFPs there, and you scroll down, the vast majority of these people contributed $1. Yeah. And so all of those people contributed $1 to a bid that, if it lost, they would have gotten the $1 back. It won. So the $1 went towards driving attention to this link, which was for eggs.fun. And then they received whatever. I think the equal split of 1,000 was like $5 and something, 63 cents or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I rounded up a little bit because I never want people to be like, oh, it was supposed to be this, but it was this. So I sent like $6.23 or something to all those people. So all those people made $5 for, again, like very simple action, engaging with an app where they really, the only downside they possibly could have had would have been, if more than 1,000 people ended up contributing to that bid, then they could have contributed $1 in theory, have won the auction, and then have received less than $1 back. But as you can see, it finished at 171. So like in an efficient market, that would have gotten up much closer to like 1,000 contributors, but it's not efficient.
I was keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
I was keeping an eye on it. So I was adding, there was somebody who came in kind of towards the end, and they put a big, they captured the auction. And I was like, well, I'll just join that one, because now if it's just us and 28 people, I'm gonna make out like crazy.
Yeah.
And then it ended up getting outbid, but it was kind of fun to be able to, like, can I arb this kind of a situation? Like, is there an opportunity here? So it was cool to kind of keep an eye on that. And that's another opportunity for you to incentivize, where if somebody wanted to offer a incentive, a reward for the bidders, they could do that as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to come from QR. So there's another opportunity there for some fun and some shenanigans.
Yeah, I think you're sort of speaking to a pattern, which is basically, observe what happens and then build for that. Like observe what people are doing anyway, and then build for that. And so that's certainly like the approach that we've taken. But on the other hand, people will see things and be like, I'm trying to think of a good example. They'll see this, for example, and they'll want me to do that every day. And build it into the project. And that may be a good idea, but it may also not be. And so I've been very hesitant to build recurring pieces into this project that further complicate it. It's already complicated enough. It's very simple, but like it's no one, it's sort of related to the thing of like, it's hard to get anyone to do anything. Also, just no one cares generally. And so, like if you're going to get someone to understand something, like it needs to be easily summarized in a tweet. And the QR, it's like already hard enough to explain to people. Again, much easier than a lot of projects, I think, but very hard. And so the more I introduce, people are like, oh, the bids while they're on the board, they should be staking in an Aave contract. I'm like, I get it, but like
that sounds cool and overly complicated for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, part of the thing that I think actually really helps me as a builder in general is I have a very low tolerance for complexity, and so if it is like at all confusing to me, I'm just not interested. And so as a result, like my projects end up being like very simple, and I think that's beneficial because I think that allows for like the widest potential understanding. And as you get more and more complicated, I think you niche yourself further. And so what was interesting though about this incentive was this was somewhat like, this could be replicated, I think.
Absolutely.
I could have done that auction, that same incentive the next day, as a sort of fun little fact. Like it actually broke our contract, the 281. The one with all those contributors. It was too much to refund everyone at once. So
wow.
Run a manual script.
And
so we need to change some things and fix some things before we were to repeat that. But
I can't even see. Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't even see all the bids. No, it's going. I just wasn't. I didn't think it was linking.
And so
so this was the one. Whoever put this bid in, they came in with a 3,000, and I was like the second person to join it. And I was like, oh, well, if this wins. So I added a little bit to that one because I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, those people were in line to win like $20 for what could have been a $1.
So there was like there was an ARB there that was like, oh, this is an easy no-brainer because I'm just going to get it back if it doesn't win. If not, I'm going to, get a little extra. So all good. But even when you look through this, even those who didn't win, again, you still have the links, you have like the attention that it was getting while that was all happening. So it's worth it. It's totally worth it to make the experiment.
And so I'm very pro one-time experiments and very conservative on adding recurring pieces, especially recurring pieces that require recurring work from myself or the team or whatever, because then you get caught up spending the majority of your time maintaining systems that are unnecessary and unhelpful and can't do one-time experiments or, commit to larger time commitments on building out like more important things and stuff like that. So I've said no to a lot of people. Fortunately, we've built a holder base that at least like a lot of the bigger holders, I think, understand who I am, what I'm about, how I approach building, and are on board for that. Especially now as the market cap is down quite a bit from all-time highs. I think a lot of the tourists have sort of left, and hopefully the people who are there are sort of a stronger holder base, but we'll see. I mean, building a product alongside a token is really like, it presents a whole set of challenges in addition to just building a successful product, which is hard enough. That would I do it again the way that I've done it with QR? Almost certainly not. But am I glad with the way that it happened and that we are where we are? I am, because I think it, like I said earlier, I think it can make for a very cool story. But for a product to fair launch its token, it's pretty dumb, in my view. I wasn't planning on actually working on this when I launched the token. I launched it when I had the idea. It was basically a bookmark to myself to remember the idea, where basically I was like, here's an idea that I have for, and I didn't share this even publicly until a few weeks later. All I did was tag Clanker and launch the token, and no one had any context and anything. But a couple weeks later, I sort of revealed that it was because I had this idea for a token that, does all the things we've basically talked about, where every day it changes to a new link driven by a daily auction. As good projects win and drive attention back to the auction, that's helpful. We obviously drive attention, so it's like a bi-directional advertisement sort of thing, and all this. And I had that idea. I thought it was interesting, but I even wrote in my first cast about it that I thought it was interesting, but like probably not something I wanted to spend a lot of time working on over a long period of time.
Famous last words.
Exactly. And so, ended up building the product like a few weeks after launching the token. And, here we are 10 months later, 9 months later, or whatever. And so it was not it was not like I'm going to fair launch this token and then build this product. It was, this is an idea that I probably won't think about again unless I do something. Like, I'm a big believer in sort of like taking the first action, because it makes the next action more likely. And I would not recommend to those listening to make that first action launching a token. But in this case it was, because, credit to Clanker, launching a token is that easy.
Very easy. Yeah.
And so, here we are. I think
that's interesting though, that it was like, almost like, okay, I'm going to launch this token as a reminder of this idea that I have in this moment, that I'm similar in that I'll have ideas. And the way I used to do what you do was I would buy a domain name. Right. So I've got a graveyard of domain names that I did nothing with, but in that moment I had this idea and I'm like, maybe I'll pursue it. And maybe I went down a little bit on the road and I'm like, nah, that's not going to work, and pivoted to something else. So I think there's a lot of people in this space who do similar things, because same thing with .eth. You can go look at my ENSs. I've got a collection, that I haven't done a lot with, because channels, same thing. So to me, this is similar. Like your token thing was very similar to all those things of like, I have this idea. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it, but I'm going to hold on to this little thing as a reminder, and maybe I'll circle back. So
I love the domain or ENS as the alternative. That's probably a lot less potentially negatively consequential to sort of vibe launching a token. But yeah, it's, you go back through your list and you sort of like see these things, and it's a little more serious than like taking a note on your phone, of which you have like a million, and they don't really stand out. So yeah.
And we have a question from Mikado. Is QR getting attention on the World app too? Like, I know you launched it over there as well. So how is that going? Are you seeing a lot of activity there, or still most of the activity coming from Farcaster and Twitter?
Yeah, I would say most of the quality attention is still coming from Farcaster. We are having, thousands of uniques every day on the World app.
Great.
I haven't checked it in recent days, but last I checked, it was sort of in the 20s for like world rank of mini apps on World app, which I haven't spent as much time there. Obviously, I've spent a tremendous amount of time on Farcaster over the last few years. World app I've been interested in from afar for a long time, like had the founder on my podcast years ago. And I think it's really interesting. But it's not a social network. It's like it's not multiplayer basically. And so,
okay.
You can do things with money. You can obviously have the proof of personhood. You can engage with many apps. And, it's also a very global thing. Not that Farcaster's not, but I think they've had a focus on like developing countries in a lot of ways. And so, while we have thousands of uniques every day coming from the World app, visiting the links, I think that attention as of now is probably not as valuable as what we're getting from elsewhere, especially if it's going to be a Farcaster native link. A lot of those people don't even have Farcaster to take a look. So,
so the mini app, like when the mini apps are bidding essentially, and they're putting the mini app, the Farcaster mini apps in there.
Yeah, like a tweet would gain more value if that's the link of the day. But yeah, I'm glad we're there. And like, getting on base is important, again, as long as it doesn't come with a tremendous amount of maintenance, which this doesn't. And so we're on World. We're a pretty good, like respectable mini app on there relative to other mini apps, at least as far as I've seen from like the trending list and stuff like that, thousands of users and whatnot. But is it a platform worth doubling down on immediately? Probably not. Farcaster, I think we can continue to iterate on the product. Are we going to materially expand like the mind share that we have within Farcaster? Also, probably not. We need to expand beyond Farcaster. And part of that could be the base app general admission.
That's what I was just about to say. I think that, base app opening up is going to probably be helpful there. Probably the most helpful next thing. I just said,
and it's been live on base app for months. And we do have visitors there. It's been, I can see, I can see the numbers, and it pales in comparison to Farcaster. And we've been the #1 mini app in the utilities section on base app for as long as I've seen it, like on there, multiple months, like at least 3 to 5 months or something like that. So it's not like we're not doing well on the base app. The base app has just been waitlisted and quite small. And so as they open up, there's definitely the potential that it could get a lot of attention there. I don't know what the quantity or quality of that attention is going to look like. It took us a long time to sort of change some of the dials on reward amounts and things like that to make sure that we weren't over incentivizing low quality on Farcaster. So like if we wanted to, we could blow the numbers out of the water, but we'd just be driving a bunch of bots and whatnot. And so, we're trying to drive a healthy combination of like quality and quantity attention to basically have it be in combination as valuable as possible.
I think the joining bid is really a good helpful part of this, because I think that gives folks another reason to look at it while the bidding is going on.
Yeah.
Because if it gets to a certain point, you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to bid more than 350, but you can join when someone else is. So there's that. And you see communities popping up to incentivize their communities to come bid.
Yeah.
So that's another driving force of this. And I saw that with Minted Merch was a great example of that. You saw that with, Beeper in different groups. So very cool.
Did you say Minted Merch?
I did. I did say Minted Merch.
There's the mug.
The black
is there a QR on there? There's got to be a QR on there somewhere.
Isn't there?
I hope so. If not,
there better be.
I don't know.
Looks.
Cat and Savage.
I don't know if
Cat and Savage. You didn't get a QR in there.
I don't want to start roasting if there is a QR on there, but
I don't know. I don't think there is. I don't have mine handy, but anyway,
maybe the V2 mug will have
the
QR.
V2 mug will need a QR.
Yeah, we'll earn our way on there.
Now that they won one, didn't they? I thought
they've won. At least
they won
one. I think they've won a few.
Because I've participated. I've joined a bunch of bids for different things just to support, and it's fun. It's really fun. What else do you have coming soon? I know we're getting growing a little long. So what, really quick, like what else is coming soon? What should we be on the lookout for with QR?
Well, I can help save us some time if we're running over. I don't really like to talk about what's coming next. So,
all right, great then.
I'll say in general, we are trying to drive more attention to the winning bid every day, because that's what drives value to winning the auction, which is what gives us revenue, which allows us to pay out the incentives and everything like that. So our general goal is to drive more attention to the winning link every day. People, and I say that because people are like, well, have you thought about, you could have a few things that you feature every day and you make more revenue that way. And I just personally at this point, I'm not interested. I think the project, well, it could certainly be a lot bigger. I think sort of the fundamental formula is on a path to working, and I want to continue to double down on that and build things to make that sort of work better. And so driving more attention to the winning link every day is the goal. And the reason I don't like to talk about specific things is because I personally am tired of being told what's coming and not seeing it ever arrive, or seeing it arrive in a way that is very underwhelming. And so I'm not going to do that, despite lots of pressures to do that, and probably sacrificing a good amount of volume on the token from not doing that sort of thing, because people, drive speculation and whatnot. But we're just going to ship what's done when it's ready, talk about that and talk about the past and what's happened and what's happening. But I try to stay away from the future stuff.
I'm trying to find your bid, Adrian, and I can't remember what number it was, but I know it was back there somewhere.
You can find, if you go to the winners page at the top.
Oh, that would be the easier way to do this.
Yeah. And then
I was trying to, but I also think it's cool that you can circle back to the individual pages too. Yeah. And still see the links, see all the things. Let me see if I can find
the number from this page, you can get that same view. So you can
great.
Probably,
I know she's down there. Up there she is, 60. It was 60.
Okay, but I was like, the fact that you even have something in your memory of when it would have been blows my mind.
What I just vaguely remember.
Your brain full.
QR auction winners are important. That's like, you got to.
Apparently 60 is a good number.
I have a weird, my brain's weird. So that, there was 60. I wasn't sure. I don't know why I thought it was in the 40s. Maybe I think you bid in the 40s at some point.
My children's book
earlier.
I bid.
I remember you bidding.
Book. I don't think I won that one. I think this is the only one I won.
But this is really cool that, it's still the attention's like, you still have the opportunity to like revisit the previous auctions and see them. So you also have this sort of link that's still there that's helpful for SEO. So there's a lot of benefit, is what I mean, that continues on for somebody who wins an auction, even if it's not the current auction. So
and there could be more too. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like with Banker was, people who had Banker, at least a certain membership, got like those airdrops. There's interesting groups of people to airdrop beyond just like token holders of a certain token. So like obviously people could airdrop QR holders if they want or something like that. But QR winners is a much smaller, very high quality group of people. And we have had, it's been a little while, but we have had some people target QR winners for airdrops.
QR shop. I was like, what is that? I wasn't even sure what that was.
Yeah.
QR shop.
There's some things where I use an icon that I think is like intriguing. That's more intriguing maybe than it is, sort of obvious as to what it actually goes to. So I use
that was actually smart. That actually smart, because I probably wouldn't have clicked on a shop. So this, this was you could also click in here and see everyone who bid with you on something and join the bid. And then you could send that could be an airdrop. There's lots of ways to think about this.
Yeah. I've got to fix that image now that you're showing. I've got to, so I'm back here replacing the image. If it's like, we load the open graph, but, for that banker image right there, we load the open graph automatically, but a lot of times it doesn't show very well. So I just updated it and it should be better now.
All right, let's refresh. That's funny that you're working. This is like,
I was just like bullish on builders who are. This is like Adrian updating.
She does this all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys were like communicating with me behind the scenes while you were running the show, and I saw that. So I think we're on the same page there.
This is what she does. All right, Adrian, what did I miss? What did we miss? What else did we? touch on here. Did you, I don't know if you have time. Do you have time for a few lightning round questions, Jake?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's hit him with some lightning round as we
Jake,
wrap this up.
But when can we expect to see the QR code on a billboard in Times Square?
Let me see. I've got it. Oh, this is supposed to be a lightning round. Lightning round is
no, this isn't lightning round.
It's already this isn't lightning round. So then let me direct you to
it's already happening. It already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened.
I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, it was when QR was very new, so
I think I just don't remember it. But I'm sure I shouted it out at the time.
I sent the link in the chat. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Okay, cool. I'll grab it.
We had it up. It did scan. So this was in March, quite a while ago. So more likely that you hadn't heard of QR than that you weren't paying attention.
I seriously doubt that I hadn't heard. I mean, I think
maybe not hadn't.
You were there pretty early on.
Yeah. So, sorry, maybe not hadn't heard of. I don't mean to offend, but you know, it wasn't. It was very early, so it could have easily been a flash in the pan at that point.
There it is. Yeah, there you go. Wow, cool.
That's
always
right
a cool
over Carlo's Bakery with the fondant.
Nice.
Okay, nice. And I obviously thought this was just something you mocked on and was not real.
No,
that might have been it. We might have thought it wasn't real.
No, real. Yeah, not AI.
I thought you were joking.
Was that taken with a raw camera? Because I still don't believe it.
We're gonna need on-chain confirmation.
Angle. I have another angle, and this one scans, and I think it would be hard to fake. So
okay, all right, grabbing it. But that's awesome, especially during those times when you know that there's a large contingent in a large crypto contingent in town as well.
No, Jake, if you look me in the eye, you got to come off camera.
I am.
If you look me in the eye and tell me.
He's looking right at me.
He's looking right at me. But I think you've earned trust from enough people. So as long as you tell me this is real,
we believe
next
you.
Time
we believe
I'll
it's real.
Next time I can send someone to New York to try to verify the
that's what we need,
legitimacy of it. But what I like for these physical
send her. She's
I'll go.
Oh, Adrian, I'll just tell you next time.
We need Adrian in Times Square reporting.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll do my investigative journalism.
That'll be great. We'll get back on that billboard then. But what I like for the physical stuff, like the stunts and the billboards and whatnot, is like I think there's a lot more value actually to like showing them in the digital world than actually the physical thing. So I don't know how many people actually would scan that day, but to show that digitally, you get ironically, you get way more eyeballs on the tweet of the billboard in Times Square than on the actual billboard in Times Square. And so what I'd love to do—
I've said that so many times about when we have those discussions about doing things in Times Square with nouns.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just about that moment.
No,
it's about, the recording of the moment.
Like along those lines, I would love to like put billboards up in like these very rural and remote locations and share those digitally, like really cool looking places and like, the mountains in the west of America or, Japan or whatever, like just like cool billboards in cool areas and share that as it starts to sort of like meme the physical thing more. But again, mostly focused on the digital, but the physical stuff would be really fun if we're able to sort of get to the point where I feel like that's justified.
Amazing.
I totally agree.
All right.
I'll do quick round of lightning round questions. So yes. Super quick.
Okay. What are my parameters here? Like just answer right away?
Just answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No thinking.
First thing comes to your head.
No thinking aloud. You're way too thoughtful and smart for this round of questions. So throw that out. The first question is same question we ask everybody, which is that on Farcaster, we talk a lot about the URL to IRL pipeline, which is where you meet someone first on the internet and later become IRL friends. So when or how did you meet your first internet friend?
I'd have to call out Phil.
Who's Phil?
Phil from Farcaster.
Love that guy.
Yeah, we've become good friends. First met on Farcaster and have hung out with him in LA a couple of times, and one of the very few people who knows me as something other than just the blue dot.
All right. That's amazing. That's the best answer ever.
What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Beach or mountain?
Beach.
What's the next country you want to visit?
Italy.
Oh, will we see you at FarCon Rome?
Probably not.
Okay. Were you at FarCon NYC?
No.
Was your badge?
Yes.
I saw it.
If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
Biography. Like my autobiography.
Autobiography?
Yeah.
Concert or sporting event?
Sporting event.
Oh, we lost you, Adrian. I think you muted yourself somehow.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Microphone is glitchy. If you could bring one person to Farcaster, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, this one's like no
it's a fun
one immediately
one, huh?
pops to mind. My brother.
Okay.
Ooh, let's get him on there.
What's your biggest fear right now?
Like largely disappointing versus my expectations for myself.
And a final one, kiwi skin on or off?
What was it? Sorry, I missed it.
Kiwi skin on or off?
Well, I don't know what this means, I think. Is this something that I should know?
Yes.
Early days of Farcaster, when there was debates going on about whether or not you eat a kiwi.
Oh, kiwi skin on or off.
On or off.
You have to understand, I'm working on this project. When I hear anything that sounds like scan, that sounds a lot. Kiwi skin and QR scan.
It does sound.
Sounds a lot.
Kiwi, I have to work on my enunciation.
Skin.
No, it's okay. I understand. It's just like you don't.
The fruit.
Skin.
Like how many questions asked per day worldwide start with the words kiwi skin? Like it's not something that you're like looking out for, you know. But in general, kiwi skin on.
Really? Okay.
I still don't understand the question completely, but it's like, you know, if I'm eating a kiwi, I'd rather like eat it off of the skin than like have this, you know, sort of wet, like round thing that I need to like figure out. Yeah.
Meanwhile, didn't Mac or Tim create the site howtoeat.kiwi or something?
Yeah.
But it's not opening up. I wonder if they
might have
he stopped paying.
Might have let it go. Yeah. Might have let it go.
It wasn't driving enough rev to justify.
I would have minted it. Why
I know. You could have crowdsourced and funded it for probably in perpetuity, but
pay him.
This has
bid for the QR to help drive some attention, and then
go bid on the QR.
Serve an ad on it or something.
Amazing. This has been so fun. Everybody go check out QR. You can check it from the mini app or go to qrcoin.fun for the website. This has been so fun. Current auction right now is at 350. Got a lot of different bids in here. You can join one if you want. See if you can make your favorite thing get up there to the top. So a lot of fun. Check it every day because you get to claim some QR coin every single day if you just click on the link. So it's pretty amazing. Adrian, anything else before we wrap up? Jake, anything else before we wrap up? I should ask. Any other calls to action or anything else that people should know?
No, I'm good. I appreciate the time. It's been fun as always.
A lot of fun.
And I love coming on here. Love what you guys are doing. And I write about it in the feed, but your guys, how prolific you have been with this show is like pretty amazing to me as someone who's had a podcast for a long time. I know it's not a trivial amount of work, and just being live, like with your voice, and in your guys' cases, your faces, which I personally couldn't imagine, like is just a lot. So mad respect, and thank you for including me.
Thanks so much, Jake.
I'm sorry I missed you on your first appearance. Prof, are we continuing any news, or are we?
No, we are. We did it all. We did it all. We're gonna wrap it right here. So
hot off the press. Then just Linda's doing a live stream with Dish and Moon Poppy on the Farcaster and probably Clanker X as well. So if you're watching on those streams starting at 2 Eastern.
I was like, right now?
No, not now. No,
Like,
not now.
We've got like 24-hour programming now on the Farcaster Clanker channel. It's pretty
on the
cool.
Farcaster network.
So if you're watching on Farcaster or Clanker X, hang out. She'll be back going over Clanker LP management.
That'll be amazing because we need some LP management information. So that's great. All right, so go look for that in about an hour from now or about 50 minutes from now. Jake, thank you so much for being with us today. And I'm going to just slide you back down into the green room. Thanks so much. We will see you on the timeline. And we're going to just wrap up here. So thanks everybody for joining us today. That was amazing. Thank you, Jake, for being our Clankcaster Spotlight today. Thank you, Clanker, for sponsoring us today. We appreciate it. We love that we can continue on talking about Clanker. I forgot this overlay. This was presented by Clanker today. And everyone, we will see you on Wednesday. We'll be back at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. We'll be on at 11:30 a.m. on Friday. Wednesday, we have on our guest, Annika, from the product lead for the base chain, is going to be on. Wednesday is going to be a big day for base. So get ready. And then on Friday, I guess we're announcing our mystery guest now because I put it in the paragraph newsletter. Or should we just make them go read that?
I mean, we have a mystery guest. It's a big week, so you can kind of guess who it might be. But
you'll probably guess wrong, though. I should say. Let me qualify that with it's not Jesse this time. But we'll just let you. It's not Brian Armstrong this time. Oh. No, we will have Chintan on, who is the head of engineering for the base app. He will be with us on Friday, and we'll talk all about all the updates with the base app. So we will see you on Wednesday right back here. Thanks, everyone who hung out with us this whole time, all 2,637 of you. We appreciate it. And we will see you if you are watching us on Farcaster on Twitter or Clanker World on Twitter. Be sure to follow GM Farcaster so you see us when we're live, even when we're not on those particular channels. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see you on Wednesday. And with that, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.